field set 2x2, looking good here. Last couple stragglers coming into the tail of the field, lining things up. We are green, 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 and a strong start there for a Scorpione. He gets a good jump to the inside, not surprising. They'll roll through turn number 1. Look for Cardenas to check back up to see if he can't slide in behind the gearbox. We'll see whether or not a Scorpione blocks to the inside. No, he's going to run the full racing line. So a great start for a Scorpione. I think more of a challenge further back. Here comes Argyros to the inside of him. They're side by side through the downhill off camber. Turn number 2, keyhole. Good stuff there as Cardenas, I believe, able to hold off an aggressive start for G3 Argyros. Right there as well, Costello slotting into the fourth position early. First run down here to turn number 4. You can see the defense to the further back in the field there. I believe that was the TJ Speed car of Schrag defending to the inside. You saw him move to driver's right to defend the pass up the inside of the racetrack. This right now, again, playing right into the hands of a Scorpione. A clean opening lap. And as we often reiterate, the cars are not good on the opening lap. Tire pressures are set low, knowing that they're going to come up through the race as they get the heat into these Continental tires. So right now, these cars are an absolute handful. Cold tires, pressures are low. This is the drivers really having to hustle these things around. More on the driver now than mid-race, when the car really starts to get a lot better. Scorpione leveraging that, pulling that to a nice little lead right now over Cardenas. You see Argyros there in third. See as they come around. Argyros third, Costello fourth, Mossman fifth, Schrag sixth, Masella seventh, Jeffers eighth, Golan ninth, Brienza up a couple of spots. Joey Brienza from 12th to 10th on the opening circuit. Big defense further back. Argyros now getting challenged big time here by Michael Costello. Costello to the outside. Same goes for Jack Jeffers. He's battling here with Brady Golan. Golan, I think, got a good run to the outside there as well. Side by side for Argyros and Costello. Here's our first big challenge down into turn number 4. Let's see how it plays out. Front 2 drivers stretching away. Are we thinking 3 wide? Not quite. And that right behind is Teddy Masella, looking to try to capitalize as well. Look at Masella throw it up the inside there on Costello. Everybody clean and green through the opening couple of laps. Love to see it. Lap number 2 here of 30. Remember, that's the other thing as well. USF 2000 and USF Juniors running 20-lap main events within a 40-minute window. A 30-lap main event for these drivers here. It's a long run. These guys yesterday were pretty tired after 30 laps in the high heat of the day. Today a lot cooler, but still the 30-lap run. Let's see if we can get this second lap in the books. Would love to see a green to checker race for the drivers here this morning. Big lead out front there. Everybody else settling back in. Let's see what we have there. Your point leader, Jack Jeffers, trying to get a run now. The guy in front of him, Jeffers, right behind Teddy Masella. And it's Frankie Mossman. It wasn't Masella, it was the VRD number 77 of Mossman who was putting the pressure on Costello there. But John, drivers finally settling in here. We got some battles forming for sure, but for the most part, drivers settling into the fight. If there's a move to the inside, again, that's Masella trying to get by Schrag.
My eyes on Mossman once again. We talked about him earlier in the weekend. He's got 5 podiums this season, still looking for his first win. He's got more podiums than any other driver. He's due for a win here, and I don't know if today's the day, as the Scorpione looking really strong out in front of this group, but we're just getting started. We're only 3 laps into this.
I believe the fight there continuing with Costello as well, with Argyros doing the side-by-side battle further back between Christian Cameron and Sebastian Manson. A lot of good racing here, but you can see the front 2 drivers absolutely jetting away. A Scorpione looking for his 3rd win on the season, and Cardenas trying to get another podium as well. He's 6th place in points. That would be his 3rd podium in the last 4 races. So those front-running drivers jetting away here early. Again, watching the battle, as John said, what do we got out of Frankie Mossman? What do we got out of Teddy Masella? The 2 VRD drivers looking pretty aggressive here as well. I want to say you go essentially from Frankie Mossman back to the next group as they come across the line. The leaders are out nicely. Scorpione's got 2.7 seconds on Cardenas. He additionally has 2.6 on Argyros. Costello right there with him, then 2.5 back to the next group, and that's Mossman, Schrag, Masella, Jeffers, Golan, Brienza, Durst, essentially the remainder of the field. Manson, Cameron, Adams, Aiken, Hoskins. Good stuff. There's the group right there. That's the remainder of the field. Nose to tail coming down out of 2, down to turn number 4. So settling into the battles that we would have expected here.
Mossman going a little defensive, coming down into turn 4 and sweeping around the outside. Looks like Schrag is trying to take that position, but Mossman gets it back.
He does. That was 2x2, 2 deep, 4 drivers all coming down into turn number 4. And listen, give a shout out to Thomas Schrag there. He was on the outside. We've seen so many drivers not able to really change the turn in, change their speed, roll on the brakes a little bit. A lot of guys have been dropping wheels and going off. A lot of wheel into that for Thomas Schrag, but he was able to save it, kept the car to the inside. Yeah, he lost a spot to Mossman, but didn't lose anything for Jeffers. Jeffers has been able to get by Masella, so he's up in 7th. Jack Jeffers right now, he's thinking about essentially mitigating the damage because the driver he's battling in the championship right now, Leonardo Scorpioni, out to another lead here. So Jeffers, they haven't had the best car, and Jack said didn't optimize qualifying, and you can't speak enough about how crucial qualifying is here at Mid-Ohio. If you start up front, you eventually end up front. It's just the way things play out at this racetrack. You're able to get away early. It's not like a Road America, John, where a driver can pull away, but then coming out of turn 14 on the opening lap, the draft just brings everybody right back into it. Yeah, there's a draft here, but you've got to get through the keyhole first. It's not one of those easy corners that leads onto a straightaway. You get the aero wash here, you're going to lose the gap. A lot of the times drivers can stretch away, and now we start battling for positions outside the top 3, right? Everybody's just scrapping away further back. Allows the leaders to pull away.
Yeah, Mossman, Schrag, and Jack Jeffers now, the points leader, trying to work his way forward as he tries to sweep around the outside. He's already got Schrag. Now he's going after Mossman as they head into turn 6, and out of 6 and into 7 through the S's. Again, the car goes uphill, gets a little light right at the top of the hill, and then into turn 9, one of the most difficult turns on this racetrack.
We saw G3 Argyros go off, and we think 2 laps in a row yesterday. 1 lap he lost about 2 seconds. I actually wasn't able to find out where he went off, but he did make that little mistake coming through turn number 9 yesterday. And listen, anybody can do it. We saw Grosjean go off. We saw Dennis Hauger go off in that corner yesterday in IndyCar. It's easy to miss the mark coming through. It's 2 really crucial apexes. You got to get cleanly through 8 to make sure the car is balanced and set up to make that turn into 9. And if you're just too wide, you get on the curbing on the outside, you're not able to get that car turned back in, and then you're out in the gray. Jack Jeffers trying to get the job done on the outside. Mossman goes deep into the corner, locks a brake up and pushes wide. Jeffers doing a good job to hold the outside line, but not able to capitalize there. Jeffers is going to get a big run this time. He'll move to driver's right, or driver's left rather. He'll go to the outside of the racetrack. Jeffers to the outside, Mossman to the inside. This is the fight for P5. They come down into the braking zone. Deep move and an early turn in for Jeffers. Book it. He's by to the inside of turn number 4. Jeffers up to P5. What a fantastic battle. 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th.
Yeah, they pulled away just a little bit from the 10th place runner, Sebastian Manson. But Jeffers, once he got clear of that group, has already begun to put some distance on him.
Yeah, he was able to obviously get a better run through that corner. Mossman probably had to hold the brake a little bit longer to make sure he tucked back in behind. Good job for Frankie there. Scorpioni's flat checked out already. This kid is flying here this weekend. 4.4 seconds, 6 laps in. Cardenas runs in 2nd spot. Costello in 3rd. Argyros 4th. You got to wonder whether or not... Oh, damage for the number 77. Front wing damage. Pick that up as they roll by here. The front wing for Frankie Mossman is askew, cranked a little bit counterclockwise. The left side of the wing pushed back. That is going to hurt him in a big way, especially in a lot of these long corners. Look at that. Look at the front of that car. Another right front lock up as well. And folks, you know, once you've locked the tire up and flat spotted that tire a little bit, you're going to be having that thing want a flat spot every time you roll on the brake. Mossman, a veteran driver, though, he'll have to do his best to hold that on. He's getting challenged big time for Thomas Schrag. Schrag around the outside. Not quite enough, John, as again, Mossman able to hold him off, even with that damaged wing.
Coming up on the top of the hill, Schrag trying to hold strong on the outside. That'll give him the inside down into 6. But Mossman again holds him off. That's a great job with that damaged front wing.
And I think Thomas Schrag as well. Listen, I think he knows he's obviously going to get the call in from the radio. There's damage on Frankie's wing. Take care. Just be ready to pounce when you can. Frankie doing everything he can, elbows up to try to hold off the local driver here, Thomas Schrag, who is extremely quick here at Mid-Ohio. And I think he probably knows, you know, eventually he's going to be able to get it. When you have an issue with the wing like that, you're going to keep losing that front downforce. You're going to see that car, you're going to be plowing through corners. You're going to burn those front tires off. Jeffers just turned a fast lap of the race at 1:18.86. He was quicker by, wow, 1.4 seconds quicker than Argyros. He's very likely going to reel Argyros in the next couple of laps if he continues this pace. Jeffers, the fastest driver on the reservoir. Look at this fight further back, John. This is epic stuff. Here comes Schrag around the outside on Mossman. Schrag's got he'll get a better run out of the corner, and Schrag's going to take that spot. So move Thomas now up into 6th. Look at this field lining up, though. I love this. No stragglers off the back. This is essentially 6th back to 16th. Great stuff here further back. They are just crisscrossing each other. Here's some side-by-side action coming through further back as well. I want to say that's Logan Adams going at it with Joey Brienza. So yeah, this is fantastic stuff in the USF Pro 2000 category. Outside that top 5, they are going at it right now. Scorpione resets fast lap with a 1:18.6. Cardenas now resets at 1:18.3. Here comes Costello across the line for 3rd as the field working their way out of Thunder Valley. Schrag able to jet away as well. Yeah, Frankie Mossman's holding everybody up now. He's doing the best thing. He's on full damage control, and we're not even to the 3rd away through the race. This is going to be a long one for Frankie Mossman.
Indeed it is, and Jeffers once again resets the fast lap. He has just exploded away from that group of cars.
Almost 2 seconds faster than Argyros on that last lap.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's going to catch him in another lap.
Yep.
And then we're going to have Jeffers, the points leader, battling for a top 4. And if he keeps running at this pace, he might run down Costello for another podium spot.
He was 7/10 of a second faster. Look at this fight further back again. I think that maybe Teddy Masella. He may have got to the front of that group. Teddy Masella, I think, is there as well. We know that Schrag was able to get by. I think Masella now by Mossman as well. And it's Masella to the inside, Mossman to the outside. The 2 VRD drivers giving each other room. So move Teddy Masella up into 7th. Mossman back to 8th. That damaged front wing. Tough for him for sure. Back through turn 6. And listen, we're watching turn 6 as a Scorpione crosses the line in front of us here at start finish. So that's what kind of a lead a Scorpione has. It was 4.2 seconds last time by. He's already through turn 1, the rest of the field just coming in at 9. Domination here thus far on the weekend in the races for Leonardo Scorpione, the young driver from Windermere, Florida. Did 2 years of USF Juniors for Zanella Racing, had a strong opening year, but had some ups and downs. Then came back the following year in 2025 and really was the dominant factor. Just such consistency throughout the season. Really kind of took control of the championship by the midway point here at Mid-Ohio. Leon Loiacono, the Australian driver, kind of stepping up. It was more the dominant factor for the second half of the season. But at that point, Scorpione was able to kind of cruise and just kind of take care of the race car en route to that championship and winning his first USF a title in USF Juniors, skipping over USF 2000 as I had mentioned earlier, jumping right here into the USF Pro 2000 category. I would love to have seen him run in USF 2000. I went for a championship there. I like to see the progression through all 3 series. But how can you say it was a bad move when he's done so well this season? He's 2nd place in points. And you look at that, Jack Jeffers, USF 2000 champion, our USF Juniors champion, Scorpione in 2nd place in points. Our 2 title winners from last year, the superstars of the Pro 2000 category here in 2026.
Jeffers has caught G3 Argyros. We'll see. That battle's coming into us right now. They are nose to tail as they come onto the front straightaway. Maybe 2 car lengths separates the 2 of them at the line.
So Jeffers that much quicker, but now you get when you get within that 2-3 car lengths, you really start dealing with the aero wash. And we talked to a number of drivers about that yesterday. You start losing a bit of that air on the front wing. One driver you see heading to pit lane here.
Mossman.
That's Mossman with the damage.
Yeah, he's plunging down the order, so decides to come in and get that wing fixed.
They may even have asked him to come in with the wing almost ready to fall off. The last thing you would want to see is that thing all of a sudden fall off, roll under, and then at that point you're on for the ride. You're into the grass, you're into the wall. So a good opportunity for Mossman. Why not come in, get the wing changed right now? Yep. If there's a yellow flag, you get a chance to get back into it. We're only 11 laps in, still a long way to go. In fact, working lap 11, so 20 laps remaining on this. So almost for Mossman, get in here, get that wing changed when you know you're going to be able to stay on the lead lap, and then get back out, and hopefully, if all goes well, you'll get that yellow.
Frankie, I apologize for the commentator's curse. I bragged on you, and now you got a broken front wing.
Yeah, here comes Scorpione. The lead is so far. He's put him down a lap now. It's a tough place to come into pit lane, folks. As we know, the track is so short, and he had such a lead for a Scorpione. that he's already gone down a lap for Frankie Mossman. So tough one for Frankie here today. We talked about the aero wash. Jack Jeffers, who was almost 2 seconds quicker at one point than G3 Argyros, is now to him, but his fast lap, we talked about an 18 flat, he did an 18.9, so a full second he's lost as he's in the draft right now. He's going to have to set things up, get lined up quickly, and hopefully get one of those runs down into turn number 4, because Jeffers, I think, has the pace to potentially reel in Michael Costello, but that's 6.2 seconds back now. This battle he's going to have here running with Argyros may keep Jeffers off the podium. So indeed, top 3 drivers looking good right now. Leonardo Scorpioni, Andres Cardenas, and Michael Costello, the 2 turn 3 drivers bookending the Jay Howard pilot. And indeed, Scorpioni lining himself up for his second race win of the weekend.
Great battle between Argyros and Jeffers here down in turn number 6. As Argyros gets just a little breathing room out of 6 as they head into the S's, up over the hill at turn 8, and then right back downhill at turn 9 as they head into Thunder Valley.
Jeffers, I think, knows he's got a little more pace than G3 here, but the key is picking the time to go by. You see, he's right there on the gearbox. You got to bide your time. See if you can't force him into a mistake. Keep the wing, at least one side of the wing, in the clean air there. You see how much she struggles coming through the carousel, John. He's got no front downforce at all.
Yep.
And the car is just not wanting to go where you're pointing it.
And the downside of that, too, is that wears down the front tires.
Yes.
So, he's got to be careful. So he'll have some tires under him. We're not even to halfway here, so he's got a lot of race yet to go.
Jeffers going to try to the outside once again, and even the diamond, you can get back down to the throttle earlier, pinch down the bottom. Let's see whether or not he gets a good run here. Jeffers right there on Argyros. It's going to be maybe 2 car lengths that come out of turn number 2, the long straight through the kink, turn number 3. Leaders coming through. Argyros still has the spot. Has he moved to defend yet? Here comes Jeffers. Move to the inside, side by side into the corner. Jeffers is going to give him room. Oh, good stuff. Jeffers trying the over-under. Can he pinch down to the bottom of turn number 6? We've seen passes there, not quite enough. Good cover off there for Argyros. Defense is key as well. Sometimes you don't have the perfect race car, but if you can put it in the right place on the racetrack, especially a track like this here at Mid-Ohio, you may be able to hold on to the spot. You just got to place the car in the right position. And remember, you can't move in reaction. That's a block in our series. If Jeffers moves and then Argyros comes across, that's the block. You can move early and be the first guy to make the defensive move. You're even allowed to come back to the racing line, but you can't move into reaction.
Exactly. And while they're battling, Thomas Schrag is closing down. This is going to be a 3-way battle before much longer.
He was almost 2 seconds faster on that last lap. He is trying to get himself in. He's 1.5 back.
Taking advantage of that clean air.
Yep, that's what it is. And Argyros is just off the pace. Let's put it that way. He turned a 19.3 on the last lap. He was almost 2 seconds slower than the leaders as well. So this is I think the example, a perfect example of the issue with the aero wash at this racetrack. Jeffers is going to try to get aggressive. Getting through turn number 2 better is the kind of way to get the job done. Let's see if he's there for it again. Not close enough again in turn number 4. And I guarantee you they'll be on the radio telling Jack, listen, you got to get this done. Thomas Schrag is coming. That driver in the 6th position is pushing. That's the best battle on the racetrack right now. Argyros, Jeffers, and Schrag for 4th, 5th, and 6th. Saw a minor little hiccup for Argyros on the last lap coming into the carousel. He had a little bit of trouble and had to recorrect and kind of missed the apex a little bit. Jeffers wasn't close enough really to capitalize, and really not a place you can make the pass to the inside. See, again, a little bit of a,
yep.
as he kind of rolls in on the brake there, has a bit of trouble getting it turned into the corner. But Jeffers, veteran driver, both these drivers, listen, coming through the USF Juniors program into USF 2000, now Pro 2000. They've both been in the series for a number of years. So they have the experience. Argyros trying to hold off the young Texan, last year's USF 2000 champion. And Argyros, as we know, coming off a fantastic weekend at Road America. Pabst Racing able to score a number of victories at their home track there. The team from Oconomowoc, Wisconsin, wins in USF 2000 and USF Pro 2000. A fantastic weekend for them. 4 for 5, I believe they went in the races in those 2 categories. So a big weekend. There's Jeffers finally by in turn number 4. Book it. He is through. The exclusive Autosport driver has finally made the move. I would expect to watch him jet away very quickly here. In the next battle, we're going to see a Schrag, I think, coming up on Argyros.
Yep.
G3 just doesn't have the hot rod right now. He did get back to a 117.9, but he was up, remember, to the 119s. I think he's struggling a little bit in a couple of the corners. Jeffers able to stretch away. Argyro's trying to see if he can't hold on for some points. Remember that issue yesterday off the track over in turn number 9.
Yep.
Got into the barrier, damage to the left front, ended his day. He's trying to come back and, press the button here, reset, get a good result, something solid, move on to Portland. He's won at Portland before, so for G3, he'll think about heading to the West Coast.
There's a big gap back to Teddy Musella, so even if he loses that 5th place to Schrag, he'll probably be able to hold off the challenge from behind, assuming we don't have a safety car.
Yeah, we're past the halfway point now, right here. 15 laps down, 15 laps remaining. And indeed, the field pretty much stretching out as a Scorpione with a 4.2 second lead on Cardenas, 6.5 back to Casello, over 10 seconds back to Jack Jeffers. So if we go green to the end, it looks like we're probably locked and loaded for at least the top 4 spots. We are going to see, I think, a battle here between Argyros and Schrag momentarily. Thomas was only back by 7/10 on the last lap and was actually quicker by a full second. So watch for Schrag now. Number 1, he's done the first job. Reel in the driver in front of you.
Yep.
Now, how many laps does it take for you to deal with the aero wash, with losing the front, and trying to get yourself close? You can close, but you got to finish, and that's the tough thing about this racetrack. We talked about it, and indeed, some clean air as well here for Argyros. A little better there coming through the carousel. Here's Jeffers out of the front straightaway. All right, let's see what happens here. Jeffers actually just turned the fast lap of the race, a 116.9, half a second faster than Costello, only 9.7 back. Yeah, I'm not good at math. Math is hard, but it seems to me like there's a potential possibility if he keeps getting. It depends on how the cars start to fall off near the end.
Mossman back in the pits.
Tough day for Frankie Mossman, no doubt about that. 16th, man, hate to see it for Frankie. On the podium yesterday with a strong run. His 5th podium of the year, 3rd place in points coming into the day.
Schrag is right there. G3 Argyros has got to say, come on, guys, give me a break here. I'm doing the best I can.
Lead right now for Jeffers over a Scorpione in the points. Just 16 markers, and that's what we're talking about up front. Scorpione's done his best to close back in. He'll, as he's running on the racetrack now, pole if he ends up winning the race. He's led the most laps already, so 32 points potentially up for grabs. That fast lap of the race currently owned by Jeffers would mitigate the issue there, but you're talking 30 points for the race win. You go back, to the driver in 5th place points and 4th place. 4th is, I believe, 19 points, so you're talking about a potential 12, 13 point swing. We're going to be single digits for sure, maybe less than a handful of points separating as we head into one more race today. So there is an opportunity with continued domination as Scorpione could leave Mid-Ohio as the point leader heading to Portland. Month off for these drivers here as they normally would be going to Toronto in the middle of July here in a couple of weeks with the World Cup action happening in the capital of the province of Ontario. The race being moved, as we know, to Markham with a 5-year deal, so not back down at the long-time street course on Lakeshore Boulevard, so up into a brand new track in Markham, Ontario, just a little northwest of Toronto, essentially a suburb of Toronto. I think that's going to be a fantastic race, but that would normally be in July. So instead, we're going to go back-to-back Portland and then Markham on back-to-back weekends. Coast, west coast to the right coast. It's going to be a lot of travel for both the USF Pro Championship teams and IndyCar heading straight from Portland all the way over to get rolling on Friday morning in Markham.
Working on race lap number 20. Best battle on the racetrack is the one we've been watching between Argyros and Schrag. Just about half a second separates those two, but Jack Jeffers just resets last lap of the race.
1.3 seconds faster than Costello as well. That is massive. He was also 0.8 quicker than Cardenas. There's 14 seconds back from second. That's not going to happen over the next 12 laps, but I'll tell you this right now. Jack Jeffers in that exclusive Autosport USF Pro Championship liveried car, that guy right there is absolutely flying. Here comes the battle again. We talked about this. This is going to be Argyros versus Schrag. That is going to be for the 5th position. Schrag trying to go top 5 here. Down the hill, turn number 6. Schrag now exactly where Jeffers was a couple of laps ago, right there in the draft, right there in the aero wash, trying to place that car in the right spot. We're going to keep an eye on Jeffers. 1:16.2, 4/10 faster than the leader. So Jeffers is the fastest driver on the racetrack now. He is rocking it here at a 1:16.2. So here's one thing. I have a sneaking feeling that we're going to see. So I think the grid for race number 3 is going to be set by fastest laps for these races. Because you look at Jeffers, he was a 1:17.4, and that was his best race time from race number 1. Because of the cool temperatures, everybody's gone essentially way below their second fastest qualifying lap.
Yep.
So whoever comes away with the fast lap of the race here is going to be on the pole, I think, for race number 3. So what a wrinkle there with the cool temperatures this morning. The way things happened with the shift from yesterday has opened things up to change the grid for race number 3. This would have been race number 3 had we raced yesterday afternoon. So Jeffers right now, not only is he trying to fight to potentially reel in to go P3, get on the podium, but he's fighting himself to potentially go pole, change his fortunes. He started back in 8th position, now runs in 4th, a chance to jump to P1, what could be a wet weather race here coming this afternoon. Indeed, Jeffers took another, 7/10 of a second out on Costello, 6.9 back, 10 laps to go. He's closing. Good stuff here for Jeffers. Costello going to find some pace, although he does go quicker. Both he and Cardenas turned their fastest laps on the last lap. These cars really starting to come into that setup window.
Scorpione with that 5-second lead is relaxing his pace a little bit, relaxing to a 16.7.
Yeah.
It's still pretty stout.
Jeffers reset fast lap again, 1:16.233. That car is quick. And again, he was another essentially 8/10 of a second faster than Costello, 6.1 seconds. Jeffers is lopping off time, absolutely decimating the cushion that Costello has for P3. And you think about the championship chase, I always say, yeah, there are races that drivers win. And you go back and look at those when they won a championship. Sometimes for me, I see the championship being won when you come from deeper in the field and maybe you didn't think you were going to be able to get those extra points, but those 3-4 points you're getting, instead of finishing 8th, you're finishing 3rd. If Jeffers is able to reel up here and get by Costello before it's all said and done, that could be something that we talk about in this Scorpione and potentially Jeffers battle through to the very end of the season.
And it's also, great for the driver's psyche. To come from the back is just really a challenge, and to do it well and to do it convincingly as Jeffers is doing right here, that's bound to keep him sky high as we head into round three for the weekend later this afternoon.
John, I think any driver will tell you, I would rather win from 8th than win from the pole. It's so much fun to be able to come through, past drivers, and get that race win. Yeah, when you win from pole, you kind of expect it out of yourself. Once I get to the jump, I want to be able to pull away. That's what I do. The really great drivers don't lose a lead like that. They stretch away, and then they just nail lap after lap. That's what Scorpione's doing, right? He's just banging out these laps. He's got a 5-second lead.
He's just controlling the pace.
Exactly that. Taking care of the tires here right now. But if you can come from deep in the field and get a win, that is so satisfying. We got ourselves a good battle brewing here. Again, 2 of them right now. Jeffers slowly closing in again on Costello. The gap was 5.2 seconds last time by. He's grabbing a second a lap. There's 9 seconds to go, so he's going to have lots of time. Jeffers is closing. The next battle is that G3 Argyros and Thomas Schrag battle. In fact, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th all turning their fastest laps on the last lap. Jeffers, Argyros, Schrag, and Masella. So Schrag is going to have to really fight here. He's getting quicker, but so is Argyros. That car finally starting to come in a bit.
Yep.
He is excited about that car now, I would bet. He does a 1:16.8. He was about 2/10 faster than Schrag on that last lap. And of course, on the side for Argyros is that clean air, right? Every time he comes through a corner, those long duration corners like turn 2, the keyhole, all that air coming over the front wing, planting the front of that race car. Not so for Thomas Schrag behind him.
Jeffers is into the 15s, 15.9.
That is 7/10 quicker than the leader right now. And we know that a Scorpione's on cruise control.
Yeah.
He is flying. This is great stuff. And hold on, let me have a quick look at this. I think that Jeffers just reset the track record for the race lap. Rinus VeeKay, the track record in a race was a 1:16.3. Jack Jeffers has reset the track record. Whoever's going to get fast lap of the race here today, not only are they going to get pole for race number 3, they're also going to have the new fastest race lap record. So good stuff here for Jack Jeffers right now. Whoever comes away with a purple lap, That is fantastic.
That record has stood since 2018.
That's amazing. Hey, again, we're talking about just the way the temperatures are right now, right? It's a lot cooler.
Ideal.
It is. It's ideal. And Jeffers is up on the wheel. The car's setup is absolutely perfect. It's a cool combination as well. Let's just kind of dive into this here. We have a couple seconds. Everybody kind of settling in. We're watching Jeffers continue to get closer. 4.2 seconds was the last time by. But the pairing at Exclusive Autosport right now, his engineer is a driver who has won here before. He's an Ohio native. Braden Eves is engineering that car, a former USF 2000 champion like Jack Jeffers was as well last year. Those two guys are really gelling. Braden, who of course had aspirations of getting to IndyCar, is now finding his footing as an engineer, working with the crew. Right. All the engineers he's worked with over the years. Ludi Agostino is there as well, veteran engineer at Exclusive Autosport on the USF 2000 side. But Braden and Jack have become a venerable pairing, let's put it that way. And Jeffers now just 3.5 seconds back, a 1:15.978 for the driver who now holds the new fastest race lap record here in USF Pro 2000.
Another battle that may be brewing for 7th. Teddy Musella checking his mirrors now as Brady Golan getting close to him, about 8/10 back, as Golan on that last lap was a couple tenths quicker. So we'll see if that is going to change. Golan trying to bring his teammate Sebastian Manson with him. As Manson, though, about 2 seconds now behind him.
He's got Christian Cameron right behind him as well. So a couple of battles potentially forming up. But here comes our leader across the line once again. Scorpione putting lap number 24 in the books. He's cruising around, just turned his fastest lap, a 1:16.3. I will say this. I wouldn't be surprised if the radio's telling him, listen, if you feel comfortable, can you bang out a lap for us, please? Because we are resetting the grid right now. As it looks, it would be Jeffers on the pole. The next fastest lap, is it the 16.3? I think it is. So 16.3, that would put Leonardo Scorpio on the outside. Then you're going to have Thomas Schrag. No, Cardenas is P3 at this point, and Schrag P4. So fast laps of this race are very likely going to set the grid for race number 3.
Yeah, the top 6 drivers are all lapping in the 1:16s.
Yeah, you think about the fact that all but one driver for qualifying here was in the 16th. Everybody else in the 17th. So we are resetting the grid for race 3. Jeffers now to within 3 seconds. Last time by, a half a second quicker than Costello. That gap dropping a little bit. 6 laps to go, 3 seconds. That would get him right onto the gearbox. Good job for Costello. I'm sure they're on the radio with him as well. Listen, you need to find something here. Jeffers is coming.
Yep.
Scorpione. When he comes back across the line here, it'll be 5 laps remaining. There's Jeffers out at turn number 9. You saw the kind of gap there between he and Costello. It was 3 seconds last time by. Remember, Jeffers is going to get the benefit of the draft for a couple of laps, at least 1, maybe 2, and then he's going to hit that aero wash. He sees him coming out of turn number 13 now. Now he sees the driver up front of him. And if anybody watching this broadcast or is here trackside has ever driven, if you've ever raced before, the minute you get, or the second you get that rabbit, there's a little bit more. There's something about having that guy that you can chase, you can reel in, and you know every corner, hey, he's turning in, I'm closer. Every time you see him, I'm a little bit closer. That rabbit is often massive in terms of pace. 2.9 seconds, great lap for Costello. Jeffers, a 1:16.1. Did he put too much, I don't want to say he put too much down because that fast lap that he laid down could put him to pole here. But is there just nothing left in that machine for Jack Jeffers? 4th would still be a fantastic drive from 8th, and the pole in race number 3 would make it overall a successful run.
Golan and Musella getting closer together as well, as that battle for 7th is beginning to shape up here with 5 laps to go, 4.5 thereabouts.
After a messy race yesterday for the USF Pro 2000 drivers, they're putting on a show here this morning. I like to see this. This is great racing. We had a couple of battles. Everybody kind of dealing with that aero wash. There's Christian Cameron trying to close up as well here on Sebastian Manson. Logan Adams there as well, started 14th. He's up to 11th. Watch the drivers come across the line. A 16.5 for Costello, a 16 flat for Jeffers. 2.3 seconds, 4 to go. He's going to need to be at least 6 or 7 tenths of a second quicker a lap if he's going to catch him. But again, as I said before, once you get close enough, the draft is going to come into play. It only does it for a little bit. And then you're going to get into the aero wash, but it's at least potentially be some pressure for Jeffers on Costello. Right now, turn 3, 1st and 3rd, Scorpione, Costello. Cardenas looking at his 3rd podium in 4 races. Good stuff for Cardenas to work his way up the points as well. Opportunity for him to potentially move up a spot, although Mossman's still pretty good there. He's only 28 points behind Jack Jeffers. But that issue for him today, finishing at the tail of the field, going to be tough for Mossman. His 16.8 will likely keep him in the top 10 for starting. All right, let's see how these final laps play out here now. Last time by, 2.3 seconds, the gap between third and fourth. Really, the leaders have checked out. We're not too worried now about Scorpioni and Cardenas. They've got things handled. 5.3 seconds was a lead for Scorpioni last time by. Costello and Jeffers this time. Another 0.7 of a second. Call it 1.7 seconds. Oh my goodness. Essentially, Jeffers, if he's 0.6 of a second quicker, which he was there, he was 0.7. He's going to arrive on the scene here on Costello. Do we see a last lap battle for the final step on the podium? Rest of the field streaming through here. Kind of gapped up around the field here now. Lots of room.
Lucella, Golan, Manson, Cameron, and Logan Adams all in touch with each other. And that's the battles for 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th.
Really consistent running for Leonardo Scorpioni, guys. His fastest lap at 1:16.3, last time by 1:16.4. He's just been knocking out these super fast laps, nice and clean, open racetrack. A 1:16.3, because Cardenas just did a 1:16.2. That would put him to the outside of the front row. That lap for Cardenas now puts him to P2 for the start of race number 3 this afternoon. This is going to get exciting here. Back across the line again. Watching this battle between Costello and Jeffers. The gap's still pretty big here with 2 laps to go. Last time, let's see what comes across the line. It was now 1.3 seconds. Jeffers 0.4 quicker. That was not enough though.
Yeah, with only 2 laps remaining, that's going to be a tall order. Catching is one thing, passing another.
That's it. He needs to be 0.7 of a quicker each lap. And even on that last lap, 0.7 back, you're just not going to catch him by the time. Because really, once you get through turn number 9, there's not much opportunity to pass a top quality driver like Michael Costello. Jeffers is putting everything down there, but he needs a magic lap, and he maybe needs a little bit of a mistake for Costello to close up enough here. 2 laps remaining in USF Pro 2000, kicking off a long day and a fantastic day of racing here at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. Again, hello to those of you who are joining us here on the USF Pro Championships YouTube channel or on the downloadable mobile app, watching from wherever you are around the country and around the world. Great way to start off the day. We've had a fantastic one here. These drivers putting on a show. Little wide entry there into the carousel, diamond it up for Scorpioni. Across the line once again.
Sees the white flag.
Does his best lap though, 16.131. He's going to put himself back on the outside of the front row. Not there on the lap for Jeffers. Let's see if Scorpioni can maybe lay a lap down at the end. Jeffers is closing again. It's going to be less than 1.3, 0.8. But he needed a couple more laps.
Yep.
But what a run here for Jack Jeffers right now. From 8th up to 4th. Fast lap of the race for a bonus point. A new race record at this point. Let's not take anything away from the Leonardo Scorpioni. He just dropped 0.3 of a second off his fast lap. He may put a flyer in here now. You don't want to throw it off. Take the victory.
Sure.
But goodness. Could try to get that pole. White flag flying there at start finish. Awesome stuff for the drivers here in Pro. Again, those battles we saw, Brady Golan right there on Teddy Basella, Thomas Schrag, kind of gave up the ghost trying to battle G3 Argyros, who settled into some pretty good laps. G3 at 1:16.2 last time by as well. But coming up out of Thunder Valley, it's going to be a great start to the weekend here, ladies and gentlemen. Win already out of the carousel through 13. Back-to-back jacks for Leonardo Scorpioni. Wins race number 2 here in USF Pro 2000. What a weekend for Scorpioni here at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. Cardenas with a strong run to second. Scorpioni does not go any quicker on the final lap. Michael Costello defending off the late race challenges, the chase for Jack Jeffers. Costello on the podium, put 2 turn 3 cars on the podium, flanking the Jay Howard driver development pilot Cardenas. Jack Jeffers, 4th spot, fast lap of the race. He'll take that bonus point and a new race record in terms of pace for Jeffers, eclipsing the 1:16.331 laid down by Renus VK back in July of 2018. 8 years that record stood. No longer Jack Jeffers scoring that new fast lap race record, 1:15.830. G3 Argyros holds on for fifth spot. John, that car definitely came in. He had to battle hard against Jeffers, but man, even with the consistent pressure from Schrag, that car started to come in. G3 was hitting the marks. A well-earned fifth place finish.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, it came to him in the closing stages there for sure.
There is your lineup right there, folks. Scorpione, Cardenas, and Costello are the three drivers I'll talk to on victory lane. Jack Jeffers will head back to the paddock, but not without a new race record. Jeffers finishing in fourth. G3 Argyros, a strong second half to finish fifth. Thomas Schrag, sixth spot. Teddy Musella in seventh. Brady Golan, eighth. Sebastian Manson, ninth. And Christian Cameron rounding out the top 10. Further back, Logan Adams inning 11th, up from 14th. Tyke Durston 12th. Joey Brienza, Colin Aiken, JT Hoskins capping off the drivers who were able to run the 30 laps. Frankie Mossman a couple laps back, finished there 2 laps back, but good lap there for Thomas Schrag. Yeah, bring that up, John.
Yeah, he'll be on the off pole.
That is big. Thomas Schrag, last lap, 1:16.076. That is huge. That's why you push to the end. He's able to go to the outside of the front row. So it's going to be Jeffers and Schrag on the front row for race number 3 after IndyCar this afternoon. So there you have it, folks. It is time to go to victory lane. John, I'll let you clean some things up and throw it down to me when we're ready. But yeah, we got 3 very deserving drivers going to join me on victory lane here momentarily.
Yeah, sounds great. Rob's going to head down to the podium to interview our top 3 finishers. As Leonardo Scorpione with a dominant win, Andres Cardenas equally dominant in second spot, some almost 9 seconds in front of the third place runner, Michael Costello, as Jack Jeffers ran him down, but just came up a couple laps short of having what he needed to do to get up onto the podium, but he's got to be pleased with that comeback drive. But take nothing away from this young man, Leonardo Scorpione. Dominant win from the pole, never headed, never really challenged. I mean, he had maybe a 1 second lead at the end of lap 1 and just stretched it from there. And as we talked about, able to control the pace, but still set a 16.1 as his best lap. He'll start in row number 2 by my unofficial reckoning. G3 Argyros alongside him in that second row. Michael Costello looks like he'll be back in row 3, but he'll take this podium finish for sure. As Costello with his 3rd podium on the season now. He took the win at IRP on the oval, had a podium in the very first race at Arlington. And so another podium for Michael Costello. But a Scorpione celebrating with his crew. And a well-deserved top step on the podium for the young Brazilian.
John, thank you so much. We are down here in victory lane for the first of 2 times here this weekend after a fantastic green to checker race. We saw some messy events yesterday, but to be able to see these pro drivers go out there in these early conditions of the day and absolutely put on a show for 30 laps. Great job for all 3 of those drivers. Let's get things underway with the podium presentation, starting with the driver finishing in 3rd place today for Turn 3 Motorsports, Michael Costello. Michael, big race for you. We know the championship's in the front of your mind. Overall, just let me ask you first guy up here, what were the conditions like? How was the race car?
Yeah, I mean, it felt really good out there. Lots of grip. Car felt great as always. Thank you to Turn 3 Motorsport and everybody involved.
One more time to do it today. Any thoughts? Are we going to see some wet weather, you think, this afternoon?
I hope so. I like the wet weather, so we'll just see what happens. You know, can't really count on it, but we just have to focus up on the next one, try and capitalize because, you know, we didn't really have a great race one. But, yeah, let's just celebrate, put it behind us, and on to the next.
Nicely done. Hop up on top of the podium here, hoping for some rain this afternoon. A lot of these drivers like racing in the rain. This young driver here has really started stepping things up midway through the season. This is his 3rd podium in the last 4 races for J. Howard Driver Development, P2, Andres Cardenas. Andres, congratulations. Stay down here with me. A great run for you. You weren't able to catch up to Leonardo, but the car looked like it was really good. You had second handled all day long.
No, yeah, for sure. The car was great. Honestly, the track was really quick. Car was quick. I mean, we did the best lap all the race. Everyone did a very good lap. But anyways, I'm really happy to get a podium after the race 1, but really happy.
Congratulations. Get on top here. P2 for Andres Cardenas. A great run for the driver from J. Howard. Excellent drive. But I'll tell you, folks, this is another young driver really stepping things up in a big way. 2 race wins here on the weekend. He's working himself to try to attack for the point lead. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner for Turn 3 Motorsports, Leonardo Scorpione. Leo, you're making it look easy out front. You get out to a big lead like that, no need for restarts because we went green to checker. Just give me your thoughts on another win. This is your 3rd win of the season, 2nd in a row.
It was an amazing race. The car was amazing, so Turn 3 made it very easy for me again. I haven't been able to really work that hard. I just kept everything under control, waited for the track to come, and it was about staying on track, doing good, clean laps, and just managing the gap. The car was amazing, honestly.
Was there a time there, I know that you're out front, had a good lead, were you thinking about trying to put down another lap? Because essentially the laps from this race is what's going to set the grid for the race this afternoon. Were you thinking about trying to put a flyer down, or was taking the win the more important priority?
Yeah, at the end there, I was for sure pushing more, but, I still left a little bit on the table. So I think I could have probably maxed a fast lap if I went full push, but it is what it is.
Risk reward, right?
Yeah, I was leading. I don't want to wreck.
Who do you want to thank?
I want to thank the whole Turn 3 team, the whole Sonella team, HMD, my dad, my mom, and everyone that was involved.
Well done, my friend. Congratulations. Another P1 trophy, 3rd on the season for this young driver to Windermere, Florida, and another victory for Turn 3 Motorsports. They put 2 drivers on the box here in race number 2. Andres Cardenas, his 3rd podium in the last 4 races. Another driver hitting his stride midway through the season as we think about the stretch run now, past the halfway point. Lots of racing still for these drivers, although they'll wait probably 5 weeks till we go west coast to the Portland International Raceway. Back-to-back weekends at a new street race in Markham. Then, of course, remember, folks, at the end of the month of August, they go to the Milwaukee Mile, proper IndyCar oval for these young drivers, just 2 steps away from the NTT IndyCar Series. The entire program capping things off this year at the end of September at Road America. All 3 series will battle for the championships and over $1.6 million in awards and prizes that are doled out. Of course, the scholarship to all 3 champions to be able to make that move up to the next level. There's no other program in the world like the USF Pro Championships in terms of the scholarship that really funds the drivers moving up to the next level. Everywhere else, you got to find the money. Here, the program puts it together for you. All right, guys, grab that champagne. Let's get things underway. Grip it and rip it. It has been a fantastic race for USF Pro 2000 to kick off the day. Not surprising, a quiet celebration. They have to wear these suits again this afternoon. Will it be wet? We'll see. For those of you around the racetrack, enjoy the rest of the day. Big races coming for you to cap things off here at the Honda 200. If you're at home, come back and join us at 3:30. We expect Eastern time. Broadcast will get things underway for the back end of the triple header here for the drivers at USF Pro 2000. Can Leonardo Scorpione do it again? Can he go 3 for 3 here at Mid-Ohio? We'll see what happens this afternoon. Thanks for tuning in, folks. We do appreciate it. On behalf of Anderson Promotions and Continental Tire, my name's Rob Howden. Bye for now.